Air Jordan 11, Gratitude. Alright, so what's up YouTube? Just another pickup video for you here today. And obviously we have the Air Jordan 11 Gratitude. I was finally able to get all of my pairs. One of my pairs got delayed. Basically, I got the early access on Finish Line, and then it shipped, but then it never moved for a couple weeks. And I was waiting to get all of my pairs to actually decide, which one I want to wear, which one I want to, keep DS for the collection or whatever. After a couple weeks, I finally hit them up, and it turns out they had like a mismade pair at the store that I was coming from or whatever, so they just didn't send it to me. So yeah, I'm finally able to make my video on the 11s, and I do have the original, or the 2006 DMP release, but I didn't pull them out because there's already been so many really great reviews and comparisons between these and the 06 DMPs. So I just wanted to give my little perspective on these. Overall, I'm not upset with these at all. I was a little taken aback at first when they said that they were going to change the upper to leather as opposed to mesh. But at the same time, the DMPs had only released once up to this point. So if they want to switch it up a little bit with something like that, I guess I'm not mad. And then, and the DMP was the first package release, so it kind of has a little bit of significance. Normally I don't get into the, oh, this is a special release, you can't re-release it again like that, because of the value or the collector type of thing. Normally I like when they release something as it should be, or as it was released before. But I'm not mad at this change. I'm not mad. And it seems like a lot of people also weren't mad. From what I was seeing, a lot of people love that they went to the leather upper, just as far as wearability and being able to keep them clean. The issue with that Cordura mesh that's on the normal 11 upper is, once it gets dirty or stained, it's a pain in the ass to get clean, and it almost never gets clean the way it was originally when it was new. And it also yellows over time. So just in general, these over time are going to age a lot better than the pairs with the mesh. I still do prefer the mesh over this full leather upper, but once you get them in hand, I'm not mad that they they went with that major change. And just comparing them to the 2006 release, the other changes, the most obvious one being the overall shape of the shoe. The 2006 DMP 11 was the first 11 after the first retro 11s in 2000, 2001. And then they were also the first 11 of the not so well made 11s that we know now, from 2006 with those, and then 2008 through 2015 where the 11s had the low cut patent leather, the cheap materials, etc., the backwards Jumpman. The DMP 11s was really the first of that 11. A lot of people really don't like to talk down the DMP 11 just because it was such a limited release, such a hype release at the time. People kind of hold it up there as that grail status, but it was really the first of the bad 11s, if we're going to be honest. So obviously these have the updated, improved shape. that we've been seeing since 2016. Obviously, they made the change with the upper, going from the Cordura mesh to the leather. The DMPs, the Jumpman on the heel was just embossed. It was like they just took the leather and just like embossed the Jumpman on it and then painted it gold. Whereas this pair, it's actually like a separate piece that they kind of put into the leather. I guess they just glued it on or welded it in, heat welded. I'm not sure, but it's definitely like it's got its own hardness and texture. You can tell it's not just a piece of leather. Well, in the original DMP, this was just like a piece of leather and it was just painted gold and embossed into the leather. Also the 23 on the back, on the original DMP, it was just kind of like screen printed on, so it would still like kind of crack over time. This is actually similar to the Jumpman. It's like a plastic piece that they've glued in there, so it should be much more durable. It's not really going to crack or break down over time. Obviously the leather upper, and then the DMP 11, they didn't have like the milky soles like these. These have like a slightly milked sole. The DMP 11, it didn't have the pure clear sole like the first retro 11s from 2001. It had a slight, ever so slight blue tint, but not as heavy as the blue tint that came later. But then these, they switched it up with the milky sole, which, to be honest, I'm not mad. I kind of like the milky sole. I think it goes a little bit better with the gold accents than going with the clear sole with the blue tint. So I kind of like that they went with the milky sole. And then all the pairs I got, I know there was some like discrepancy between some of the earlier pairs had like yellower soles, and I didn't like that at all. I thought they were coming like that, and I didn't like that at all. But we came to find out that those were like, I guess, an early batch, or the batch that got released early had some of the yellow soles. And then some of the later pairs, or the pairs that got released on RD, had more like of the milky sole without the yellow. And this is what I really prefer. So I think it's going to age a little bit better. So I like this. And for the most part, that's all. That's the only differences between these and the DMPs. And then of course, the extra little, the thank you tag on the back of the tongue, the extra little tag and the little detail there. And then the 23 that's on the insole. Oh, I know laces were in the way. You can probably see it. I hope the light is catching it there. It's got a 23 on the insole. The DMPs just had a Jumpman with air under it, a gold Jumpman with air under it. But other than that, these are basically your standard 11s. And I'm glad that it seems like every year the production numbers go up and up and up and up. So, the 11s, the holiday 11s are pretty easy to get for the most part, as long as you enter your raffles, etc., etc. And I struck out on the initial shock drop, and I didn't get early access. But it ended up being a blessing in disguise, because I think those were a lot of the pairs with the yellow outsoles, and I didn't prefer those. So I ended up getting, I did hit on the Finish Line one, but then that's the pair I never ended up receiving. But then I hit on release day, and then I actually found one of my pairs in an outlet that got returned. So I came out pretty well on the Gratitude 11s this year. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Other than that, these are pretty much your standard 11. There's really nothing much to go into. I have seen a lot of conversation on the quality of the patent leather with the creasing. I haven't worn these yet, obviously, so I can't speak to that just yet. But just in hand, they seem like they're going to be okay. I have seen both sides. Some people said they crease like crazy, and some other people said they're creasing like, just like how other 11s have creased. So it might have depended on, the factory where your pair was made or where that particular pair was made. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it on the Gratitude 11 for this year. I know this video is late, so I can't even say, good luck to you all getting your pairs. You should have your pairs already. So that's pretty much going to be it on the video. And of course, as usual, if you like this type of content, do all that good YouTube stuff for me. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.